Chapter 1. An unusual text message on engagement night. The bustle of the engagement party gradually faded. In a suburban villa adorned with roses and ribbons, Lily gazed at the warm yellow light streaming from the bathroom, her fingertips unconsciously resting on Jack's phone, which lay carelessly on the bedside table. She wasn't one to pry into someone's privacy, but for the past week, Jack had been lost in thought, staring at his phone, even taking it into the shower. He'd changed the password from her birthday to an unknown number. Just now, while Jack was showering, she'd somehow managed to try the engagement date. And the screen had actually lit up. The notification of unread text messages flashed frantically. The sender was an anonymous number, and the latest one stung her eyes. "It's cold at the bottom of the well, but it's warmer than being married to you." Scrolling up, she saw a message every night at midnight for 3 months, a total of over 999. Like an inescapable curse. "Baby, what are you looking at?" Jack said, his voice thick with steam from the towel wrapped around him. Lily was so startled that she nearly dropped the phone. She quickly locked her screen and forced a smile. "It's a work group message. You know I'm always worried about the project." Jack leaned over and kissed her forehead, his tone brisk. "Forget about work. Let's go hiking tomorrow. There's an ancient well in the mountains outside the city that's known for its effective wishes. Let's go and make a wish for our future." Lily nodded mechanically, watching Jack's back as he turned and headed back to the bathroom. A chill ran down her spine. When the sound of the water died down, she pulled out her phone and quickly screenshotted and encrypted the eerie messages and sent them to her private email account. Her fingertips trembled. This engagement, which had started out sweetly, had suddenly become filled with creepy malevolence. Late at night, Lily lay in her double bed. Jack's breathing was steady and long, but she tossed and turned. The repetitive text messages, like ghosts, gnawed at her nerves in the darkness. She quietly pulled out her phone, logged into her private email account, and stared at the screenshots in a daze. The time was exactly midnight. The content was exactly the same. Who was the sender, and why was he targeting Jack? Suddenly, the phone on the bedside table vibrated. Another text message from an anonymous number. The same line. "It's cold at the bottom of the well, but warmer than being married to you." Lily froze. Her heart pounding. The other person knew she was watching, knew she'd discovered a secret. She sat up suddenly, knocking over the lamp. Jack mumbled drowsily, "What's wrong?" "Honey, I had a nightmare." Lily quickly turned off the lights and hid her phone under the covers. Cold sweat soaked her pajamas, and this night was destined to be sleepless. Chapter 2. A hiking invitation in the fog at 7 in the morning. Lily stared at her pale face in the mirror, took a deep breath, and went downstairs. Jack had already prepared breakfast, warm coffee next to the fried eggs, but Lily couldn't taste it. Every sip felt choking. "Don't worry, it's just a relaxing, short hike." Jack buckled her backpack, a smile hidden in his eyes. "I looked up the route, and the scenery is beautiful." Lily didn't respond. She saw Jack stuffing something bulging into his backpack. It didn't look like a water bottle, but more like a rope. The drive was long and agonizing. The cell phone signal was intermittent, and the navigation route drifted further and further away. The desolate forest receded into a gray-green shadow outside the window. Lily clutched her phone and suddenly asked, "Who sent those texts?" Jack's hand on the steering wheel shook violently, spilling coffee on the center console. He quickly laughed. It's just a prank, honey. Don't let this ruin our good mood. But the fierceness in his eyes made Lily sure that this hike was no simple matter. 3 hours later, the car stopped beside a deserted mountain road. The surroundings were so quiet that the sound of dead leaves crunching could be heard. Jack pointed to the thorny path. The ancient well is just up ahead. Legend has it that anyone who makes a wish will have it granted. Lily followed, taking each step carefully. She noticed Jack's eagerness, as if he were meeting some kind of deadline. Meanwhile, her phone had completely lost signal. The closer they got to the well, the thicker the gloomy air and the wind. Lily's pace slowed, but Jack suddenly turned and said in a cold, chilling voice, "What? Are you scared?" Lily feigned composure. "It just feels like this isn't a place for making wishes, but more like a place to hide corpses." She deliberately probed, trying to gauge Jack's reaction. Sure enough, his pupils constricted, but he quickly smiled. "Don't let your imagination run wild, honey. Make a wish with sincerity." Chapter 3. A fatal showdown at the well. As the deep blue well suddenly appeared before her eyes, Lily finally understood the meaning of "the bottom of the well is cold." The dark well head shimmered with dampness, moss crawled down the stone walls, and the wind blew the gloomy air toward her collar, causing her to shudder. "Do you really think I want to spend my whole life with you?" Jack's voice suddenly came from behind him, his warmth completely stripped away. 3 months ago, I bought you a high-value accident insurance policy, and the beneficiary I was the one. Lily spun around, meeting his sinister gaze. "So those text messages. My ex-wife sent them," Jack scoffed. "She found out I was in gambling debt and wanted to turn me in, so I had to send her to hell. Before she died, she sent those messages, trying to curse me. Ridiculous. Now it's your turn." As he lunged, Lily dodged, only to knock over Jack's backpack. "I owe us," forged insurance policies. And muddy ropes were scattered all over the floor. On top was the death certificate. The woman in the photo looked vaguely like her own, with the name in the column, Anna. "You can't escape," Jack roared, grabbing her by the neck and pushing her toward the well. "Like my ex-wife, you'll disappear into this well." Lily struggled and kicked, digging her nails into his wrists, but was thrown hard against the edge of the well. The back of her head hit the stone. Stars danced before her eyes, and her consciousness began to blur. Near death, Lily remembered the safe code she hadn't sent last night and thought of Ellie. But her throat was strangled, and she could only kick futilely, digging her nails into the moss on the well edge. Bleeding. Chapter 4. A turning point in a Jedi counterattack. Amidst the suffocating sensation of near death, those repetitive text messages exploded in her mind. "The bottom of the well is cold, but it's warmer than marrying you." Lily suddenly realized this was the warning Anna had given her life to those who would follow. She couldn't repeat the same mistake. She reached for the pepper spray in her pocket and pressed it hard against Jack's eyes. "Ah!" Jack screamed, letting go, and Lily took the opportunity to tumble down the hill. Her arms and knees were bruised and bloody, but she didn't dare stop. Her phone vibrated wildly in her pocket. It was the timed alarm she'd set the previous night if it wasn't canceled within 2 hours. The private detective would track her location. It turned out that when she took the screenshot, she decontacted the detective and set it up. If she didn't send the safe code before midnight, the alarm would be triggered. At the foot of the mountain, Lily finally waited for the detective's car. She curled up in the back seat and unloaded on Jack's. Scheme and Anna's story. The detective, looking at her bloody body in the back seat, gritted his teeth and said, "This evidence is enough to send him to jail." But Lily shook her head, her eyes gradually colder. "I want him to know that not everyone can be murdered by him." At the detective's suggestion, Lily contacted Ellie. When the call connected, Ellie's voice was tinged with tears. "I got the system alert, and I knew. Are you okay?" Lily briefly explained what happened. Ellie was silent for a long time, then said, "I'm coming to New York right now. Together, we'll make him pay." Chapter 5. Evidence unveiled and collapse at the police station. Lily's screenshots of text messages, iOS, and insurance policies quickly led to a case in the interrogation room. Jack continued to deny it until the private investigator retrieved his casino surveillance footage in the dimly lit private room. He was gambling like crazy, his hands shaking as he signed the IOU. The recording of the lender threatening to chop off his hands if he didn't pay back was also played simultaneously. An even more unexpected shock came from Anna's sister, Ellie. She rushed from Boston upon hearing the news, clutching Lily's hand and sobbing. "My sister received strange text messages too. But we didn't take it seriously until she was." It turned out that Ellie and Anna had designed a death warning system before their deaths. If anything happened to Anna, the system would send warning text messages to women who might be targeted by Jack in the future, attempting to prevent a recurrence. "You're the first one to survive," Ellie said, her eyes red. "We'll make him pay for all his evil deeds." With Ellie's help, more evidence surfaced. Jack was implicated in 7 counts of small-sum insurance fraud, accumulating premiums by faking accidents. His gambling debts snowballed, leading him to reach out to his partner. In court, Lily and Ellie stood side by side. As the prosecutor read out Jack's charges, he finally broke down and cried out, "I just wanted to pay my debts. They pushed me." But the law never tolerates crazy excuses. During the trial, Jack's lawyer attempted to plead gambling addiction caused mental disorder to exonerate him. But Ellie submitted Anna's psychological counseling records from before the murder. Anna had sought help multiple times regarding Jack's violent tendencies. Her doctor had advised her to divorce and report him to the police. But she, soft-hearted and clinging to her illusions of love, chose the most extreme means of warning. This record became the key to destroying Jack's mental disorder defense. Chapter 6. The End of Justice and a New Birth. On the day the verdict came, the sun was blinding. Jack was sentenced to life in prison without parole for attempted murder, killing his wife for insurance fraud, and insurance fraud. His assets were auctioned off to pay off his gambling debts and compensate victims. Former creditors blocked the prison gates, cursing him as a losing gambler. Lily, however, felt both relieved and pathetic. He was reaping the fruits of his own labor. Ellie held Lily's hand and said, "My sister's revenge has finally been achieved." The two decided to form the Anti-Fake Violence Alliance, using their own experiences to teach women how to identify the hidden dangers in intimate relationships. The stories of those eerie text messages became a powerful warning. 6 months later, at the Alliance's annual meeting, Lily spoke on stage to an audience filled with inspired people. She looked at Ellie in the audience and smiled, saying, "When we discover something unusual, don't be afraid to pursue the truth. Silence is the greatest indulgence of evil, and those who attempt to kill their wives to defraud insurance will eventually be crushed by justice, trapped in the abyss they have dug." Amidst the thunderous applause, Lily knew that the nightmare that began on their engagement night had finally become a torch blazing toward light in the days ahead. She and Ellie would help more people see the light and escape the abyss. Chapter 7: Aftermath and a New Beginning. After the alliance was formed, Lily and Ellie's story made the news. A woman named Megan contacted them, saying she had received similar anonymous text messages and was undecided about breaking up. Lily and Ellie worked overnight with her to analyze the situation and discovered that her boyfriend also had gambling debts and insurance issues. Ultimately, Megan brought evidence to the police, and her boyfriend was apprehended, averting tragedy. "We saved someone," Ellie said, her eyes welling with tears as she read Megan's thank you message. Lily nodded. "This is the meaning of the alliance. It makes early warning no longer just a curse, but true salvation." At the same time, insurance companies, inspired by Jack's case, have refined their policy approval processes, tightening regulations on frequent changes of beneficiaries and concentrated purchases of high-value accident insurance. Lily and Ellie's efforts are quietly changing the rules of the world, narrowing the loopholes for wife-killing insurance fraud. A year later, Lily returned to the ancient well. Ellie was by her side. The spring breeze brushed across the well's edge, and the moss continued to grow wildly. But Lily no longer felt afraid. She tossed a note into the well that read, "Justice has arrived," and whispered, "Anna, your warning saved me, and saved so many more." Ellie hugged her. "Sister, look, the wicked are punished, and the good shine." Lily looked at the newly born saplings in the distance and smiled. The dark past had finally become a light that illuminated the path ahead. She and Ellie would carry this strength and continue on, ensuring that the warnings of every Anna would never be in vain.